The fateful meeting, the ominous dream. Staying or leaving, while still undecided, the sisters heard near a sweet tune of music. They looked and saw a youthful handsome scholar, who loosened the rein and slowly rode forward, carrying a half-bag full of poetry, and followed by a couple of small page boys. His pony was stamped with a snow-white color, and his coat mixed with the tints of grass and sky as far as he could recognize the sisters. He deigned to dismount and walk to their meeting, his figured shoes gently striding in the green. The environs sparkled like a grove of gems. As an acquaintance, Vivien came out to greet him, while the sisters, shy, hid behind the flowers. In fact, this young man, not at all a stranger, was Kim Trọng, a descent of noble ancestry, a brilliant son of a wealthy family, endowed with scholarship and intelligence. Superb were his conduct and physiognomy, refined and generous his ways of living. He'd ever since lived in the same surroundings, and had also been one of the Banquan schoolmates. He'd heard about his neighbor's celebrities, two beauties locked in the Bronze Sparrow Tower, but rivers and mountains guarded their chambers, so he could only yearn and love in secret. It was lucky that they met by coincidence, a good chance for him to seek her confidence. From afar, Kim had seen the sisters' figures. Spring orchid and autumn mum, lovely both were. She a national beauty, he a genius. They fell in love within, kept reserved without doubt in a faint state of half-dreaming, half-waking. They were unsure about staying or leaving. Evening shadows seemed like to induce sadness. The guest already gone, her eyes still followed. Under the bridge, limpid water was running. Nearby, with evening shades, willows were dancing. When Kieu returned home to her maiden chamber, the sun had set and the dusk gongs had echoed. A slanted moon was peeping through the window. Gold rippled on water, trees shadowed the yard. The camellia drooped on east neighbor its plant. Dewdrops gathered and bent the swaying spring branch. Lonely watching the face of Lady Phoebe, Kieu was confused by near and far anxieties. How could KM's fate of songstress end up like that? And what a waste an urban dazzling life is. And this young man, why did we meet after all? Will it end up in a lifetime union? From the mixed feelings of her heart, she poured forth a poem reflecting the mood of her being. In the skewed moonlight through the window curtain, leaning against the sill, Kieu was slumbering. Out of nowhere she saw appear a damsel, a little girl, graceful and impeccable, face stamped with dew and body shrouded in snow. She moved round, her feet like two lotus flowers. With joy Kieu went out to welcome and asked her, "Are you coming astray from the fairyland?" She said, "Those of the same mood share sympathy. We met each other this afternoon, didn't we? At the western side of yours my poor house is, where there is running water beneath a bridge. You had empathic heart to think of me, and stooped to write priceless words at my retreat. I reported all of them to the League Chief, who told your name was also in the Doom Book. As we see, that's the law of cause and effect. We're not strangers, but the same boat's passengers. Here are 10 new themes just posed by the League Chief. Please write fairy verses with your flower pen. Consent to the association girl's bid?" With one stroke of nymph hand, Kieu finished 10 songs. The girl read the poems and flattered lavishly. What an extraordinary poetry! Had it been put into the Doom collection? Second to none, it had deserved the first trophy. Towards the threshold the guest had turned to leave. Kieu still kept her back for more intimate talk. A sudden strong wind snapped the blind from nowhere. Kieu awoke and knew she'd just had a nightmare. She looked around for the girl but saw no one, though she could still feel the lingering perfume. All alone, tossing about in the late night, she thought of her long future, all terrified. A flower swept by water, a weed by wind. That'd be her lot? That'd be her fate, she realized. Endless waves of inmost feelings harassed her. The more she thought, the more tears started to flow. Hearing the sobs of her child in her chamber, her mother woke up and asked, "What's the matter?" "Why stirring and fretting late at dead of night? Behold your pear-flowered face all soaked in tears." Kieu said, "As a little daughter of yours, dear. Nothing I've done in return of your favors. Strolling today, we visited GMTN's grave. Right away tonight in my dream I saw her. What is the fate of a doomed woman, mother?" She gave me subjects and I wrote into poems. Based on what I saw in dream, I can foretell my future life will be as somber as hell. Mother said, "Those absurd dreams of groundless things, worth nothing to acquire griefs and sufferings." Kieu obeyed her mother and stopped worrying. Hardly had grief left, lovesick took hold of her. Outside the window, orioles were talking. From the wall, willow's blooms flew before the screen. The moon cast its skewed light on the veranda. Deep in thought, Kieu felt lonely more than ever.